Hello, everybody. This is Texas Danny, and I'm coming to you on early Sunday morning here, the wee hours of the morning on May the 16th, 2021. This is about 03:15 a.m., somewhere in there. And I want to share with you just a minute, some things, a minute or two, and go over some areas that we have going with the quantum changes on Earth right now, as they're happening rapidly. This is my 2012 North American Atlas. It's quantum affected. In other words, I watched this change, or whatever changes that have happened in me, or tweaks, or technological fixes, or whatever else like that with me. These are what I honestly observe. I am seeing these things, and I'm reporting them accurately, and I'm reporting them truthfully to you to let you know what I'm seeing. Now, this is, again, my North American Atlas, 2012 North American Atlas, which is rapidly deteriorating more than is natural, in my opinion. It's just having a lot of wear. People have reported that aging is part of a kind of a process that we're going through. Now, I want to point these areas out real quick. The Gulf of California continues to widen as America, Mexico, Canada, North America, the Caribbean, South America, as well, as we all shift varying degrees east, as we all go a little bit east, southeast, east, northeast, as we are moving, also going down, up, any possible direction. These are having effects. So the Gulf of California is widening, everybody. It's widening up. We have the Sonora Desert being affected, going into the northern areas of northern Mexico. We have the southwestern America is being affected with Southern California, southeast, southern and south eastern California, and southern and southwestern Arizona are being affected, and these are opening up these areas. It is my opinion that eventually, if we're going on the path that we've seen with the quantum changes, eventually Phoenix is going to be beach property, everybody. And we have the Salton Sea opening up. We have these rifts and burns and stuff like that happening into Southern California, going up to meet the valley. California has been through tremendous quantum changes, as all of North America, as all of Earth. I would like to emphasize there is nowhere on Earth, the smallest, most forgotten part of Earth is absolutely prime time. There is nobody, and I mean nobody, missing this show. But a lot of things are happening. Again, our landmass is like it's living, it's viable in its movements, and it's headed east. These are having significant effects to the Yellowstone Super Caldera, effects up into Montana, all the way from Alaska, and the Denali Wave up there, and coming down into British Columbia, the American Pacific Northwest, Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. All these areas are being affected, okay? We are having tremendous changes to our surface areas. Subsequently, as Earth changes, our history changes. These highways and freeways are doing all kinds of wonderful, wonderful stuff. Now, if I could stand in, my silhouette was in Minnesota, everybody, you could put my feet here and I could stand up there like a cartoon. I'd be just like Minnesota has this arm out, I'd be pushing the Great Lakes over, okay? They would be going over east. Let me check something here. And being pushed. These are being pushed up, going further east and north and in their areas. Now, for example, if you were to change time and go back to my reality where I lived, where I saw this map many, many, many times before, okay? So my memory is ingrained with how it was. Forget the vacants or the NPCs. They're kind of biorhythm programs. They're not going to do anything other than just take what download they get and wheel it out there. So you're trying to reason with a cardboard cookie cutout, okay? It's not going to do you any good. So what would happen if we could take back time and stuff like that and go back? We would stretch the Great Lakes out there, and the upper Michigan Peninsula, the upper part of the state of Michigan, would be out in the lake all by itself. It would not border. I don't think there'd be Sault Michigan or Sault Canada, whichever. If I badly pronounce it, I'm apologizing, but that would not be there. We wouldn't have these islands through here. Michigan would be much bigger. I do believe that this area here of Canada was further up north from compared to Michigan. It's changed because everything is changing. We're moving east, everybody, not uniformly because we're moving in every possible direction, but we're going primarily east, but we're breaking southeast, east, and northeast. I'll give you an example. Washington, D.C.'s orientation, if I was to make Washington, D.C. like a clock, right? And the 6 o'clock position would have been the river going out of there, the Potomac, right? And you would have done a circular reference around Washington, D.C. Her orientation, where the southern central base of Washington, D.C. has now gone from a 6 p.m. to a 5:30 p.m. So she's moved over. Washington, D.C. has moved over. Also in relations to Baltimore. Baltimore and Washington, D.C. have come much closer together, and those freeways and so forth are going to change in there. Going a little too longer. Shout out to the brave people. We got Sunny 3 down in Florida, and we got Richard down in Florida. We got some other people down in Florida, quantum affected, Mandela affected. This is the front lines, everybody. Florida, all that water. That's the fuel. That's what's needed, everybody. It's all that water. That's the fuel that's needed. That's what's needed to keep things going. And Florida is a constant tweak state. Florida has constant activity. A lot of it is small, right? But it's constant. And of course, the size and the locations and everything, Florida's a big active place. It's a lot going on. Texas has a huge rotational wheel out in West Texas, which is rotating and coming around. We also have that situation in Nevada. We have it going up here in Northeast Oregon. We have the Cascades are going to be in action pretty soon because we've got all the effects from the Denali wave coming out of Alaska. Used to be called Mount McKinley. President Obama changed it to Mount Denali. And that water, that moisture, all that came down into British Columbia, and that did a lot of retrocausality changes on time and so forth like that. We've got the Puget Sound area, much smaller. We've got the Vancouver Island, British Columbia. That's another very constant, small tweaking change place because all that water up there. But these changes coming down into the American Pacific Northwest, northern Idaho, into Montana, spreading out, and that the water from the Denali wave making their area to the areas most primarily to the north of the Yellowstone super caldera, affecting it in quantum terms. And we have Arizona all the way up to Utah in unique actions. Very, very busy. And again, we have Southern California. Also, I was watching, I hope I don't get a strike for this, I'm going to mention sci-fi movie that I know very well. California, I grew up in California. I grew up until the mid-1970s in LA. From when I was born till about the mid-1970s in Los Angeles, and we moved up into Oregon and Washington, right? But this area, the San Gabriel Basin, well, it's nothing like, mine was like a big half-moon crater-looking thing. Looked weird. I'd have to draw it sometime. But your valley, everything has been in flux these last couple of years. But in the movie Star Trek, The Voyage Home, 1986, with the original crew, Star Trek, The Voyage Home, with the original crew, the San Francisco harbor updated to these recent changes we've had, because the San Francisco harbor has been very busy. You know, Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose, all that area. But we're coming out east. A lot of things are going to change. I'm going to mention also, real quick, see if I can go down here. I don't think I can go down to the exact spot. Let me try to find it. I'm going to London here, and I'm going to show you my marker in London. Hopefully this will get out with even me showing you the marker in London. Okay, the big, huge giant off of the River Thames, up at the O2 is what it says. I don't know what the facilities call it. If you can see this, and if you're in the UK by chance or anywhere on earth, if you're in America, the UK, this is the River Thames, this is London, right? This is one of my initial primary markers, was the sandy beach area. A little sandy, you imagine it was kind of a rough, rocky, sandy beach. But I watched this area change, and this is what made me think about the jumping aspects. Now, I've got great respect for Delta Faye. I like some of his theories. I don't agree with him. Some of that stuff I do give a nod to and say, yeah, it's very feasible. Makes a lot of sense. But some of it didn't, because we had evidence of the changes still in physical structure, of when we jumped or shifted or changes, these changes. And there it is in the River Thames right there. That has moved over, folks. It used to be, this right here used to be like way over here. So that's changed quite a bit. If I go real quick to in the UK, this is important. I want to show this real quick if I can find it. So bear with me, please. Bear with me. Yeah, Manchester. Where's Manchester? Okay, that's Scotland there. All that's gotten there. I want to go to the airport. The airport, okay? Where is it? There it is. Here we go. Hopefully you're going to see this. See this roundabout? See how that is right there? Now that's almost off to like the 5 o'clock position, right? At one time, it was at the 6 o'clock position, juxtaposed to the airways and shorter. I guess that's called a round. They terrify me. When I've seen them on film and TV and videos, I don't know how people drive through those in the UK. Yeah, because they look terrifying. I mean, I know if you know what you're doing, that's one thing, but I would just about freak if I had to go try to drive this. But this used to be like it would be right here. See how it moved? We have another, let me see this other area. We have a school here. I use this as a geometric marker as well. And that's got some interesting things in the UK, right? If you recognize what that facility is, take a look at it. Not too far from the Manchester airport, and it's closer. So something is going bye-bye, everybody. But this has been a long one. Just give you a minute, two of an update. There's more specifics coming on the changes I want to do. Some of it's going to be really out there and may disturb some people, and I hope it doesn't do that. Texas Danny out. Good night, and thanks for the listen.